That'll be in the video. I'm gonna put that in.
No.
I will. If you're a man and you want to get a better dating life, or you want to find an amazing relationship, then this is going to be one of the most important videos you'll ever watch. Today we're going to speak about why your lack of positivity and fun is ruining your dating and relationship life. You have to understand that you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Most men, the ones that I work with from 23, 24 different countries around the world at this stage, tend to be men who have a successful career, a successful business, and a lot of them tend to be quite serious individuals. Why is that? Well, in order to have gotten a degree of success in your career or your business, you must have developed a serious attitude of hard work and discipline, and that just makes your character a little bit more serious, a little bit more edgy, and that is perfectly fine because you're a man. And there's definitely a time and a place to express that, but you also have to understand that you actually crave a woman who's generally positive. One of the most important qualification criteria for a long-term partner, a woman, is the fact that she's positive most of the time, for no reason. Just because that's what she's like. Because let me tell you something, there's plenty of women, plenty of men out there who are just negative, whose emotional home is negativity, and it makes it so unpleasant to be around them. You know these individuals very well, and it's not even that they're bad people. We all know these people, and they're often really kind. They're often actually really supportive people. They're not the stereotypical bad friend that you have to cut out because otherwise they're gonna drag your standard of performance and happiness down in life. It's actually, life isn't that black and white. It's quite usually a very nice person, a very kind individual, but they just tend to be negative, and therefore they suck the positivity and the joy out of you, and you just feel drained after you spend time with them. Now, you have to understand that if you present yourself on the date or in your interactions with women in mostly a serious way, then you're gonna attract women who are mostly serious. And if you don't bring enough positivity, blind, pure positivity, then you're going to attract women who lack that positivity. Now, you might say, well, David, isn't it fake? If I genuinely don't feel that positive, should I fake positivity? Should I fake it till I make it? That doesn't seem really authentic. Well, let me tell you something. Gunther Schmidt, who's one of the most highly regarded psychologists in Germany, says that we have different parts in us. We have the sad one, the calm one, the excited one, the fearful one, the happy one, the joyful one, the grateful one. All these are different parts that are already in us. They are represented in different areas in the brain, and we can learn to prime, to channel different mental and emotional states. Most men believe that their emotions are simply the result of whatever is happening in the outside world. And while the outside world, while objective reality definitely has an influence, you can learn to control your emotions. And this is one of the most important skills you will ever develop as a man. Whether you're in a nightclub, you're about to go on a date, you're in a Starbucks and you want to speak to a lady, you've been dating a girl for a couple of weeks, you're already in a relationship. If you're not able to generate positivity from within, you will always rely on the emotions that come from the other person. And regardless of the fact that you're going to attract somebody who's a lot more negative, if you don't generate positivity from within, you're not even going to be able to attract the right kind of women at all if you can't generate fun. Because remember, especially when you're in a nightclub, and you don't have to go to a bar or nightclub to find an amazing girlfriend or life partner, but especially if you're there, you have to understand that women want fun. And even when she comes on the date, yeah, her expectation towards fun is going to be less than in a nightclub, but she's still on the date to get positivity from you, to get positive emotions from you. Yes, it's true that women seek things like security, stability, protection, leadership, all these things. These are things women want from a man. But don't forget that all you really want in life is positive emotions. Now, as Jordan Peterson says, your end goal in life can't really be happiness, Because if it's all about happiness, then what do you do during times where you just don't feel that great? Yes, you're not going to feel great all the time, and sometimes meaning is much more important than happiness. I would say it's equally important, but that is not to say that you can't learn to create positivity from within. It is one of the most important skills you'll ever develop in your life. Because jump ahead, let's say you've been dating an amazing woman for 2 years and you've gotten used to her presence and you're taking her for granted. So you've made an effort in the beginning, right? You've gone through the first couple of months of dating, or even the first half year or year, and you've shown yourself from your best side. And at some point, you're just like, yeah, I got her. So you're taking her for granted. So you don't feel the need to generate positivity, authentic positivity from within anymore. And then what happens? You start arguing about things. I don't know, the sex is not as great. There's a million different things that are going to go wrong simply because you're not disciplined enough when it comes to the creation of positivity from within. And let me tell you something. Like, for example, I have a friend of mine, right? He is somebody who grew up an introvert. He's still an introvert, but he was a software developer or a programmer, or I don't know the exact technical term. And he spent most of his life, not in isolation, but pretty much, by himself, only had a few friends. And then at some point he realized, wow, I'm not great with women, so I have to make a change. So one of the things he did is he became a wizard. He started performing magic. And so he pushed himself for 6-7 years to go out every single week to perform magic in bars, pubs, not in nightclubs, on the street, anywhere where there's people, introduce himself to an audience, to men as well as women, who are oftentimes drunk, who oftentimes challenge your authority, who oftentimes don't even necessarily want to speak to you. And he put himself out there for 6-7 years. And if you do that, then you have to be able to not just overcome rejection, because plenty of people are just not going to be interested in you. You also have to be able to navigate the dynamics, the initial hesitation. I mean, if a random stranger approaches you and the group of friends that you're at the bar with, you're going to be a little bit suspicious what that dude wants from you. So you have to be able to overcome that. But you also have to be able to generate positivity. Because if you walk up to them, the way you might walk up to a woman in Starbucks, in a shopping mall, in a nightclub, when you come to the date, if you don't bring enough positivity, people immediately perceive you as weird. Now that does not mean that you're supposed to act like a clown. You're not supposed to act a fool and completely fake it. Now, what's the defining characteristic of a clown? A clown's only modus operandi is fun. That's the only thing he has. He doesn't even have an identity outside of fun. So fun and positivity will never be the only side of your character. You will show her your serious side. You will show her the rational side, the sexual side, and all the grateful one, the silly one, the sad one. Not too much sadness, right? Like keep the sadness for, I don't know, a couple of years down the line. Maybe when you've been dating her for a year or two, then you're allowed to cry watching a sad movie. Never cry in front of her if you have a conflict. It's okay to cry in front of her in certain circumstances, but never if you have a conflict. But that being said, you are allowed to show her. You're supposed to show her all these different sides of your character. But especially in the very first interaction, it's important that you bring positivity. Smile. Now, I know I don't smile a lot when I'm in these videos, but that's because I'm in teaching mode. Okay? That's because I'm very focused on the subject matter at hand, because I'm trying to deliver content to you. I'm trying to get you to understand ideas that are important, that will change your life. So I'm very focused. What I'm about to say next, So there's moments where I laugh, but I'm trying to be very focused. But when you meet women for the first time, when you walk up to a random group of strangers, like my friend did, who really challenged himself to do that for 6 or 7 years, you naturally become somebody who can turn on positivity like that. You can literally do that. I was in a group coaching call, I believe, a couple of days ago it was, and I told the clients about the fact that I genuinely feel fun and laughter when a woman rejects me. And they're like, that doesn't really sound authentic. How could that be true? How could you feel fun and laughter if a woman rejects you? And I said it's very easy. I've been in nightclubs and bars and nightclubs so many nights for so many years. And I've had situations where I'm talking to a girl, we're having a good time, things are going well, and then, I don't know, she goes to the bathroom, or I go to the bathroom real quick, and she's making out with some other dude. Oh, heartbreaking. And like, so many rejections. Or conversations that went initially well and then they just left. It's just like I've been beaten up mentally so many times in the nightclub. And again, you don't have to go there to find an amazing partner, but it is a fun place that can really train the strength of your character. I've gone through so much suffering in the nightclub that I had to learn to not let the outside environment dictate my own emotional reality. So what I did at some point in these moments where I'd be talking to a girl and she starts making out with some other guy, I just turn around, start talking to some other girl, and we start making out immediately. And then you have 5, 6, 7 makeouts in the middle of the night, okay? And I know this is a little bit crazy and a little bit out there, and that's not what you have to do at all. And I can tell you for a fact, just being with a lot of different women gets empty pretty fast, right? At some point you realize you really want something sustainable and meaningful, but it's a fun phase to go through, and I believe a lot of men should go through a dating phase. Can even just be a couple of months. Doesn't have to be years on end like myself. It's my profession. You're not going to be a dating coach. But you should go through a dating phase of a couple of months so you create options for yourself so you can choose the best life partner. Because if you don't have options, you're going to be limited to whatever life throws at you, and the probability that you're going to have a high level of compatibility with a very small set of options is going to be lower, obviously. So, in order to create these options for yourself, you have to generate fun and positivity from within. So now, if a woman rejects me or were to reject me, then I just feel laughter. You can literally train yourself to not care about rejection at all. And these are things that I teach in depth in the coaching program, obviously. So apply for a first free call with a link underneath this video, or the Instagram bio, or the TikTok bio, wherever this video is going to be posted. But you have to make the decision to make positivity and fun a focus point of your life. Because you have to understand that the quality of your life equals the quality of your emotions. Now, obviously, you could make the argument that if you suffer your whole life, but you still make the lives of many different people better, then obviously the quality of your life was pretty good, at least measured in the realm of what you did for other people. But for yourself, it doesn't matter what you have on the outside. It doesn't matter how much money you got in the bank. It doesn't matter how great your career is, whether you're a VP for a company, you own your own business. You realize that the outside circumstances don't matter. When you come at home, you look around, the place is empty, and you just want to have somebody there that you can dance bachata with. Well, maybe not dance bachata with, watch Netflix with, go to a nice restaurant. Maybe you've been dating a bunch of different women that are just not right for you. Maybe you're struggling with getting dates at all. One of the most important things, obviously not the only thing, there's many more things, but one of the most important things is be more positive, bring more fun, independent of the initial reaction you get from the woman. Because remember, oftentimes when you start talking to a woman in real life for the first time or on dating apps, there's going to be a degree of hesitancy. So you have to create positivity from yourself, from within, with a degree of certainty, independent of the initial reactions you get. Positivity and fun has to be the main modus operandi, especially when you're on a date. The first date should be 80-90% fun. Now, there's a couple of things that shift those proportions. One is culture, but the most important one is your personality. If you genuinely are a man who's a bit more serious than silly and fun, maybe 80-90% isn't the right proportion for you. Maybe it's 30-40-50, But either way, you have to bring a lot more positivity and a lot more fun and a lot more silliness than you originally thought. My father, for example, God, I love him to death. Insanely smart man, super kind, super loving, just an amazing person, like absolutely my hero. And in so many ways, one of the things he's not good at is humor. He can't crack a joke for the fuck of it. He is just very serious. So one of the things I spoke to my father about a lot is the difference between joy and fun. And here we're talking about fun and positivity, which is more a higher level emotion, something you can create with people that you don't have that depth of connection with. Now, joy is something that goes deeper, something that just feels true, deep within. I don't really know how to explain it a lot more eloquently, but if you listen to the parts within you, you'll notice there's a difference between fun. Fun is something you can have with a lot of different people, regardless of the quality of the relationship. But joy is something that's often tied to gratitude and appreciation and kindness and giving. And these are usually predicated on a long-term existing relationship, or at least slightly longer term. So he would spend a lot of his emotional reality in the realm of joy, not so much fun. Now, I'm not here to judge. Either can be fine, right? But I think most people lack both, right? They lack joy and they lack fun. And so I think one of the things that I've recommended to him a few times is to watch a little bit more stand-up comedy. And he does love that. It's fine. But maybe he's just very German in that way, you know? Maybe there's a reason I left that country. But it's important to understand the difference between joy and fun. But understand that when you're only meeting people for the first time, it's easier to connect with small talk and so-called shit talking than to go real deep, real fast. Because that's a mistake a lot of men make. They go onto the date and they share things that are way too deep, way too soon. Now, I do give the woman or like used to, and now I'm in a very happy long-term relationship with Fernanda, but I used to give, and that's what I recommend to all my clients, be it the one-on-one clients or group coaching clients, that you do give her an insight into your character, which requires depth. So you do share some things that are deep, but you start from a high level of positivity and fun because it creates positive emotions off the get-go. And another thing that's important for you to understand is it's not just about creating positivity once on the date and then you let it die. Your emotions have to keep going up and up and up because women will feel the difference in emotion over time. So it's not great to have a lot of good emotions in the first 15 minutes of the date and then kind of let it die off because you don't know how to keep the conversation going, you don't know how to keep the spark up, you don't know how to be entertaining or witty for extended periods of time. That's not great. You have to have the emotions constantly rising, because then she feels, wow, the more time I spend with that guy, the better I feel. And if you want to learn how to do that in detail, if you want to learn how you can either get a better dating life or find an amazing girlfriend or life partner, then apply for a first free coaching call, join the coaching program. The first call is completely free. We'll sit down, we'll create a plan, an individualized plan based on your challenges, your individual situation, and your goals that you can use to find an amazing girlfriend and life partner. I've now worked with men from 23, 24 different countries, helped them get a better dating life, helped them find an amazing partner. Regardless, I want you to make positivity and fun an important, goal of your life, because most people have goals that are very much money-oriented, which is amazing. As a man, you should have that are very metric-oriented. Most men's goals are not directed inwards. And I think you should have tangible goals that have a positive impact on the actual reality outside, money, relationships, like the actual results in your life. But you also have to make sure that you take care of the quality of the emotions you experience on a regular basis. I have another video here on YouTube called or wherever I'm going to be posting this, on my YouTube channel, I have another video that's 27 minutes long called The 8 Keys to Happiness or something, where I talk a lot more about how you're able to navigate those emotions. Either way, I wish you all the best. Talk soon.